Today we got two monster kaiju going head to head. The Alpha Skullcrawler from Kong Skull Island versus Lizzie from Rampage. Who comes out on top? Let's find out. Skullcrawlers are giant reptilian kaiju that appear in the movie Kong Skull Island, with the Skull Devil, or the Alpha Skullcrawler, being an apex predator on the island and the largest and most dangerous of its species. The skullcrawlers are large reptilian creatures with only two long forelimbs, no hind limbs, and a long prehensile snake-like tail. The skull devil is much larger than any of the other skullcrawlers, actually almost as big as King Kong himself. Its tail is also armed with a kind of club used as a weapon, also has distinct bone-like spikes protruding from out of its elbows. The skull devil is strong enough to overpower and knock out injured Kong, sending him flying with a little flick of its tail, actually able to shake the ground and knock down trees just by walking. The Alpha Skullcrawler is also able to really hurt Kong with its bites, able to throw Kong around with its tail, and even its tongue is surprisingly powerful, as the Skull Devil will pull Kong's hand into its mouth with its tongue. The Skull Devil is also incredibly durable, as it really wasn't hurt by Kong smashing its head into a cliff, being hit with a massive tree in the face, and quickly recovered from Kong slamming a massive rock on its head. Gunfire from World War II fighter jets merely annoyed it. It's able to walk off a flare directly in the eye. It started having its neck sliced clean open and kept on fighting. The Squirtle was also incredibly fast and agile, being able to maneuver all around the Kong during the fight, and Kong is incredibly fast and agile in his own right. It's also surprisingly intelligent, so when a soldier approached on a suicide mission with grenades, the Squirtle managed to pick up on this, notice it was odd, flicking its tail, so they meant flying to the side of a cliff. So, let's we got in one corner, straight off of Skull Island, the Skull Devil, the Skullcrawler. But, enter the ring, the other corner, straight out of Chicago, Lizzie. Lizzie is an enormous mutant crocodile that was created when a cancer mutagen landed in her home in the Everglades. Eventually, she made her way to Chicago, where she participated in, well, a rampage. Once a regular American crocodile from the Florida Everglades, after mutation, Lizzie grew to gigantic proportions, measuring well over 100 feet in length. She also developed a forest of razor-sharp blade-like protrusions from her back, a set of vicious tusks, and a spiny club on her tail similar to that of an ankylosaurus. It should also be noted that Lizzie was far larger than the other two animals infected by the formula, possibly due to the fact that she consumed the entire canister, whereas the others instead inhaled the gas emitted from the canister before backing off. Lizzie is easily the strongest creature in the movie Rampage, as she's been able to effortlessly flip over a large ferry, she can easily lift and throw military vehicles with her mouth, she's able to plow it straight through the side of a building. Lizzie is actually so strong, not such a ferocious bite, able to manhandle and decapitate Ralph, who had previously easily stood up to gunfire and even drone strikes. Lizzie is also incredibly durable, as helicopter gunfire and missiles only proceeded to make her mad. She took repeated grenades to the face, and even entire belts of grenades coming off from her gills, along succeeded in making her temporarily stumble and fall. Lizzie also casually shrugged off taking attacks from George. He managed to shrug off a building collapsing down on top of her. Lizzie is also actually surprisingly maneuverable. She's able to climb right off the side of a building. So who wins? Well, let's break it down. Now, in my opinion, the Skullcrawler is an absolute beast. It was a fight against and nearly defeat what might be the most powerful version of King Kong we've ever seen. Pretty impressive. But today we're throwing the big guy up against Lizzie, who was uncontested as easily the most powerful creature in all of Rampage. It can essentially be described as a Godzilla-lite. But who's ultimately coming out on top? That's what we're going to figure out. And since this is a monster fight, two kaiju squaring off, we're really going to talk about physicality. I mean, neither Lizzie nor the Skull Devil are skilled fighters. Neither have any notable powers or abilities that can put them over the other and lead them to victory. No, there's going to be a knock 'em, sock 'em, drag out fight through and through. So which one of these two monsters is stronger? Well, the thing about the Skull Devil is that we really only have his fights against King Kong to scale off of. Didn't really see much of the Skullcrawler outside of that. I mean, a little bit knock over trees and send a guy flying backwards. That's not really that noteworthy. However, the Skull Devil was able to overpower and knock down injured Kong, who had just endured a massive napalm blast. It's able to throw Kong a considerable distance with just its tail, and also managed to hurt King Kong with its bites. Now, there are two ways to kind of look at this. One, Skull was able to throw around Kong. There's honestly not much to argue with there. In the Monsterverse, King Kong is the largest it's ever been. Towers at 104 feet tall, weighs 158 tons, and the Skullcrawler was able to throw the big guy around. Obviously, Skull is crazy strong. However, what I mean by that there are two ways to look at this, and why I'm kind of actually questioning the Alpha Skullcrawler's true strength limit, is because it's not hard to injure Kong. This version of King Kong actually isn't too durable. I mean, helicopter gunfire and helicopter blades are able to injure him. So the fact that the Skullcrawler was able to injure him with his bite, or even the fact that he was knocked out a week into Kong, isn't too impressive in my mind. At least not impressive enough so that Skull Devil is stronger than Lizzie. I mean, Lizzie was able to casually flip over a ferry, not even really notice that she did it. She's lifted and tossed her in military vehicles with her mouth, and plowed it straight through the side of a building. However, what makes me get the definitive edge to Lizzie is the fact that she's able to absolutely manhandle and actually decapitate Ralph with a bite. And believe it or not, Ralph is actually more durable than Kong. I know it might not look it, just because of the massive size difference, but look at the actual feats and the actual facts. I mean, like we said, Kong was injured by helicopter gunfire and holding onto a helicopter blade. Ralph wasn't even affected by military gunfire or other conventional weapons. And while Kong was nearly killed by a napalm blast, Ralph was able to take a drone strike and military explosions like it was nothing. Based on actual feats, Ralph is more durable. So the fact that Lizzie was able to easily decapitate that wolf is more impressive than the Skull Devil biting into Kong's arm. You also just gotta look at their size and the weight difference. They're actually roughly the same size, with the Skull Devil being 95 feet tall, 194 feet long, and Lizzie being 50 feet tall and 200 feet long. But the Skull Devil is just 100 tons, while Lizzie is 150. Might not seem like that significant of a difference, but it does mean that Lizzie's just going to be able to throw more weight and more power behind her attacks. So then what about durability? Well, the Skull Devil is incredibly durable. It will almost instantly recover after Kong brought a massive rock down its head. It wasn't really hurt after Kong sent it smashing headlong to the side of a cliff, so it would pretty quickly shrug off being hit in the face of a large tree. Then it held up to their attacks remarkably well too. It was able to walk off having a flare land directly in its eye when it encountered gunfire from an old World War II fighter plane, just annoyed by it. The Skull Devil even kept on fighting with an old boat propeller stuck in its shoulder. As she got back up and kept on going, and having its neck sliced wide open too. But just like with strength, I gotta give the edge to Lizzie. I mean, like we saw with Ralph, all the Rampage monsters are insanely durable, even compared to other kaiju. And Lizzie is easily the most durable of the bunch. I mean, helicopter gunfire and missiles only succeeded in making her mad. And this was modern day gunfire, so a lot more powerful than that World War II plane from Skull Island. She took repeated grenade blasts to the face, is unharmed by gunfire and rocket launchers, and even got back up after having a whole bolt of grenades going off directly in her gills. Lizzie even got back up after literally having a building collapsing down on top of her. No way the Skull Devil can compare with that. However, while the Alpha Skullcrawler lacks in strength and durability, it might very well make up for it with its speed and agility. I mean, the Skull Devil is honestly crazy fast and maneuverable, especially for a creature of its size. It was effortlessly able to maneuver all around during its fight against King Kong, even going to literally climb up on top of Kong, and I see the Alpha Skullcrawler being able to do the exact same thing here. The question is though, will this actually allow it to claim the victory? I mean, speed is kind of the big guy's only asset, while Lizzie is definitely stronger and more durable. Not like Lizzie is necessarily slow either. She's able to grab a flying Ralph out of the air, she can grab and kill Ralph, she can grab and kill the Skullcrawler too. And Lizzie will be able to kill the Skull Devil, seeing as how Ralph is roughly comparable when it comes to durability. While I'm not so certain the Skull Devil can kill Lizzie, just given how remarkable durable Lizzie is. The only way that George even managed to do it was by stabbing a pole through her eye and into her brain. And I don't see that playing out like that here. The Skull Devil doesn't have the ability or the intelligence to use weapons. It isn't really suited to going for Lizzie's eyes or weak spots either. Another day, it will be a ridiculously fun fight to see play out on the big screen, but I really only see it ending one way, with Lizzie coming out on top and claiming the victory. Lizzie wins. But what do y'all think? I would love to hear your thoughts. So sign off in the comments down below. Also, be sure to the like button, the subscribe button, turn notifications, join the FanCo army, and I will see you next time.